What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Wanted to talk to you guys about something that's pretty important to me as far as upgrades go to my Jeep. These things aren't cheap. All right, the upgrades can be expensive, and with a job like mine, I need to watch my money. I have to work multiple jobs to make this all work and to make it a viable option for me in the off-roading community. So I have to look for things to save money and ways to budget what I do. So I did a budget lift and it's worked out just fine. I used Rough Country, and I know people flame them all day and they'll probably flame me in the comments, and that's okay. I've got about 27,000 miles, almost 28,000 miles now on my Rough Country lift. It's 3¼ inch lift for a 2-door JK. And it's been fine. You'll hear people say things like, oh, well, they're incomplete and they're missing that, or they ride rough. And yeah, I mean, they probably do ride a little different than some of the other bigger names do, some of the better shocks, and that's okay. I didn't really build it for comfort. If I wanted comfort, I would have bought like a Cadillac or a Yukon or something like that. But that's not what I bought the Jeep for. So I think that's pretty important. I wanted off-road capability, and I still need something dependable because it's my daily driver. So I did the 3.25 inch Rough Country lift out of the box. It came with everything I needed to get it back on the road. But that's kind of it. So when you start getting that high up, and 3¼ is not very high, but when you start getting to 3.5, 4 inches, there are things that you have to do to keep it roadworthy and to keep it from breaking. One of the first things people recommended to me was control arms, adjustable control arms. I went with a set of front Rough Country lowers, adjustables. They're X-Flex or Flex-X, doesn't matter. But I put a set of those on the front, and they've been fine. The bushings haven't exploded. They haven't caught fire. Nothing crazy has happened. But what it did do was allow me to change that caster, that pinion angle on the front so that it stayed together. I also wanted to do, the rest of the control arms. So I started digging around when it was time to do so and found a different brand. I looked at Core 4x4, looked at Rough Country again, and ended up with something completely different. So what do we have here in the box? Max speeding rods. Okay. Sounds weird. But after reading some reviews about these guys, checking out some other credible YouTubers, this is what I got. Now these are my front uppers. Obviously, I shouldn't have to tell you that they're not on yet because I just haven't had time yet, but they'll be going on here soon. What I have done, and I'll show you here in a little bit, is I've put on the rear upper and lower set. And they do have the Johnny joints up front there. And that's, all of them have that. They're heavy. These are a little bit smaller than the lowers and the ones I put in the rear because they're uppers, and I don't think they're not usually quite as heavy, but they're not bad looking, and they feel pretty good. So I'll put that back in the box here while I talk to you about it. Bear with me here. I am at work, technically on the clock, so you could hear an alarm go off. As some of you may or may not be aware of, I am a full-time EMT at a fire department here locally. So that could happen, and if it does, we'll deal with it. But it's something I love, and it's a passion of mine. So with that, though, like I said, it puts me, we don't make as much as some of the bigger cities, and that's okay. I like that small town connection. That part of the reason I like this job and I like the community I'm in. It's very important to me. So I will work extra jobs, and I do. I have 2 other jobs I work. I work third shift on the weekends for another larger company to try to make extra money for the Jeep upgrades and traveling. But that's why it's important to me to get more value out of my Jeep and out of the upgrades that I do. You know, I do have a few parts that are metal cloak and some of the other things that made sense to upgrade. And sure, I'd like to have everything, you know, some of the bigger names, but I can't afford it. So that's not keeping me from wheeling. That's first and foremost. I've put everything on mine myself. My good buddy John, who you've seen on the channel in other videos, he's probably the bigger of the two wrenching guys for sure. But he'll help me out and he'll help me show me how to do things and keep me out of trouble. So, you know, a little bit ago we put on the other two sets, the rear uppers and lowers of these max speeding rods, and we've went on several wheeling trips since then, and it's helped a great deal. They've the rear's flexed quite a bit more. I could definitely feel it. I've been under there and checked, and we're going to go underneath it and look too, so you guys can see how they look and how they're holding up. Not any problems. We took a 4.5 hour drive to Windrock, and I did some wheeling there. Did trails 27, 26. Ran out of time on 51, but we're going back, and we're going to be hitting Bear Wallow here soon too. So also we have Vinton County has got a bunch of really nice trails. We hit those in that shakedown run with the max speeding rod control arms, and it did great. So I guess I'm here to show you some of the stuff I've done and the reasons why I say you don't have to spend a ton of money to get out there and wheel. And my stock control arms were probably fine, but you start worrying about pinion angles and just something being stronger on trails. I don't want to get somewhere and break because I have to drive it there and I have to drive it home. So they've been good. Like I said, I've got a ton of miles now on that rough country lift. Since then, since I put the rough country lift on, and like I said, I changed the lower front control arms. I also ended up doing the rough country drive shaft, the front drive shaft, the double cardan with the U-joints in it, because I did have a boot split at the front drive shaft like happens on any JK that you lift. You might as well go ahead and plan on replacing that drive shaft. And again, the rough country one did fine. There's no vibrations. There's nothing weird going on with it, and it's been in there since January, and it's April. And like I say, I drive a good solid 200 miles a week to Cincinnati and back from here, so that's fine. It's been great. We also did a front adjustable track bar from Max Speeding Rods. Much heavier, adjustable, and it's been really good at helping me get things recentered up and really tightened up my whole front end. I could definitely feel a difference in the way the Jeep handles. With that, I also put a brand new set of Kenda Cleaver RTs on it, a 35 by 12.5 15, because I love the way a 15-inch wheel looks on the JK. And we have in the back, I have the track bar relocation bracket that came with the rough country lift. And I've still got the rough country springs, rough country shocks. I have not had any problems with them. I think it rides fine. Like I said, if I was concerned about the ride, what about something different? But it's fine. It really is. It rides perfectly great. The Jeep tracks down the road perfectly straight. It's a pleasure to drive. So it's been worth every bit of it. Everything I've done to it's been fantastic with that. But I take care of my stuff. I wash my Jeep every time I take it wheeling. I get underneath it and spray it down. I stay clean with it. I grease everything. I'm pretty big about that. And I check those joints because everybody says, "Oh, they're gonna blow out. They're inferior." Man, they've not been. I don't know what to tell you. They've just not been. And we're gonna look under the Jeep here in a few minutes, and I'm gonna show you that they've been fine. They're fine at a fraction of the cost. Now, they may last a year or two, and then I might have problems then, and that's okay. We'll address that then, and if I have to upgrade, I will. But I didn't want to wait, and I wanted to get something better than stock, and I did. It's worked out just fine. So let's stop this video. I'm going to roll underneath there, show you what everything looks like underneath it, and we'll go from there. Let you make your own judgment. Okay, so here we are underneath the Jeep in the floor here of the firehouse. You can see that's the rough country stabilizer. Only did that because I crushed the factory when it hung down on a rock on the Kentucky Adventure Trail. And I don't think they're 100% necessary, but I did replace it, and the rough country one seemed to be reasonable. There, you can see that Max Speeding Rod's adjustable track bar, much bigger, much heavier than the factory. Way better bushings, tightened everything up. I've been very, very happy with it. Over here, you'll see my metal cloak quicker disconnects. And those have been really nice. And the best part about those is they have the place where you can attach them to the frame so you don't have to worry about stashing them away somewhere. Very similar to the rough country, actually almost identical to the rough country quick disconnects, but there was like $5 between them. So I thought if I was gonna buy anything, if I was ever gonna buy anything that was metal cloak, that was probably the way to go for an extra $5. Although I think I would have been totally fine had I not. So yeah, I would have definitely done the rough country. Actually, my best friend John, the guy on the channel that I talk so much about, that's what he's got on his, and his has been just fine. In the front here, the lower control arms, you can see, well, you can see these are the, yep. Those have a lot more miles on them. I did those early. Those are the rough country X-Flex or Flex X. I can't remember which one those are. X-Flex, I think. Control arms. They've been fine. I keep the joints pretty well greased. I've not had any problems with those. They've been doing their job and holding up just fine. And you gotta excuse the mess here. Like I say, I wheel mine. This is not a pavement princess. It goes out. And you can see, if I turn this way, oops. Sorry, getting used to this gimbal still. There is that drive shaft I was telling you about. That's the rough country double carbon 1310 drive shaft. Again, nothing's blown up. It's been perfectly fine. It's not vibrating. It's not doing anything weird. Angle's much better, and it's been very, very well worth the money. All right, let's pause this. I'll jump to the back so you can see that. That way you don't have to watch my big butt crawl around down here. Oh, hi, hope you're still with me. So we're underneath the back of the Jeep now. Here's kind of a shot. This is the driver's side rear. Those Max Speeding Rod control arms. One side's fixed, the other side has the Johnny joints on them. And I'm sure there's other brands. I think Core has a way to make both sides. I think where both sides are the flex rods with the Johnny joints on them. But they've been good. No issues with those. They've been perfectly fine. I don't know if you can see there. There's my rough country bump stop extensions, those blocks. You can buy other brands of those, but they're again like, oh, those were like $30, and I can't see paying more for the same thing. I just really don't. It's a metal block. I don't get the point in paying more for the same thing. I just don't. I don't get it. But yeah, I'm sure there's a reason people buy those. But these have been fine. No issues. No complaints. I'll probably end up having to do a drive shaft at some point. I'll probably do the rough country again because it's been perfectly fine. But there you can see the other side. That angle's not near as bad as the front was though. So that joint is probably okay. This Jeep's also got a ton of miles on it. It's got 118,000 miles. I've put a lot of those miles on it myself in the time I've owned it. So man, I love this Jeep. It's been totally great. Hey, how you doing there? So I'm already down here, to be quite honest. I finished the video down here. It's kind of comfy, and I don't want to grunt like an old man getting up out of the floor for you guys. So we'll just wrap it up here. So this is kind of what I've done budget-wise. There's probably a few more things along the way. I guess I didn't really talk about the bump stop extensions up front, but they're there. One thing I will mention to you, when I did the drive shaft, I did not skimp on seals. So I replaced the transfer case seal and the front pinion seal. I used Spicer seals on those because I put an AutoZone in the transfer case and it leaked right off the bat. So I used good Spicer seals and didn't have any problems with that, and it was worth it. But you know, I just wanted to show you don't have to spend a crap ton of money to do some upgrades on yours. Biggest thing's keeping up on maintenance with them. Like I said, I grease mine religiously. Try to clean everything up when I'm done with it, when I'm done wheeling, get the mud off from underneath it. And it's been an adventure, man. Don't let budget constraints hold you back. Heck, even if you're wheeling at stock, just get out there and explore. You don't have to go up mountains and rock crawl with them. Just get out and see what's out there. Push it to the limit. So again, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'm really trying to grow this thing to be a little bit bigger. I'm really digging the content thing so far. You guys have been awesome. Again, this is Nightmare JK Daddy. I don't know why I said that, but Nightmare Family Off-Road, and we'll see you on the next adventure.